We chose a felon because we didn't want to elect a black woman. I don't know what it's going to take for the American people, for 78 million Americans, to deal with what motivated them to make the choice to elect this man again, to make the choice that will allow these people to undermine every fundamental assumption we have, that you can just be disappeared. And then they...
Oh, Crashy River. Oh, Crashy River with your little blue glasses. Oh, take your little blue glasses off and Crashy River. Woo! Yeah, buddy, we spoke loud and clear. We spoke loud and clear. For common sense. America first. Yeah, buddy. And it's here to turn this big ship around. And we turned this ship around. The ship was going in the wrong direction. It was sinking. It had holes in it. It was steeping. We didn't patch this big ship up and turn it around. Woo!
They can argue that, a court is getting in the way of their ability to exercise, foreign policy in some ways, right? I don't know what it's going to take for 78 million Americans to deal with what motivated them to make this choice.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our citizens. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Y'all ready to see these liberals melt down, man? I'm gonna just have a little fun with this one. I ain't lying to you. It ain't gonna be too long of a video. I'm gonna read some of these comments, I didn't vote for a judge. I voted for the president. One of the 78 million here, I have zero regrets, no guilt about my vote. Trump is clearly the right man for the job. MSNBC always spread misinformation. You gotta shut down MSNBC, MSNDC, CBS, NBC, CNN, especially CNN, all of them. Fake news, just can't get it right. Just can't get it right. And you wonder why you're at where you're at now. It's not a Trump victory, it's a victory for the United States. Yeah, he was here illegally and went home legally, period. Amy Barrett is in an absolute disgrace. That nutty professor needs to go back to sleep. I'll vote for him 100 times more rather than allow Democrats to destroy our country. Let's roll the tapes, man.
Nation about their status. And just to slightly push back on Mark, even if you tell me and you prove that they're gang members, I'm not so sure that I'm okay with them being sent off to be tortured in a foreign country, but I'll leave that aside.
Several days later.
Breaking news, the Supreme Court has just paused the midnight deadline to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. A lower court ordered the Trump administration to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Salvadorian national, back to the United States by 11:59 p.m. tonight.
We're getting some breaking news at this hour coming out of the Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court has handed President Trump a victory, letting him and his administration use the 1798 law that historically has been employed only in wartime to swiftly deport alleged Venezuelan gang members as part of the Republican president's hardline approach to immigration. Granting that administration request to lift the Washington-based U.S. judge James Boasberg's March 15th order that had temporarily blocked the summary deportations under the Alien Enemies Act while litigation in the case continues. So the Supreme Court has...
Begin here at 4 with some breaking news. In just the past 15 minutes, Supreme Court's Chief Justice John Roberts temporarily pausing a judge's order that required a deported Maryland man to be returned to the U.S. by tonight. It means for now, Kilmar Abrego Garcia will not be coming back to the United States.
So this is part of the major developments in the case Fox 5 has stayed ahead of from the very start.
Let's get to Chief Legal Correspondent Katie Barlow live outside the Supreme Court with the latest details. Katie?
Hey, somebody got to be made an example out of.
Evening, ladies. As you said, just about 15 minutes ago, Chief Justice John Roberts issued what's called an administrative stay. It's a temporary pause that kind of freezes everything in place and stays or pauses Judge Paul Lazinis's order that would have required Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be returned to the United States by midnight tonight. This comes as the Department of Justice asked the Supreme Court to step in here and put that pause order in place. Now, the chief got this request because he's actually in charge of requests that come up from the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, overseeing cases out of Maryland. And basically what happens now is he will refer the matter to the full court for consideration. And they seem to be interested in moving quickly here, sensitive to the timeline, because the Chief Justice called for a response by 5 o'clock tomorrow. But it turns out Abrego Garcia's legal team didn't need that long because just minutes ago, they filed their response to the Department of Justice saying that this order should be allowed to go forward and that Abrego Garcia should be returned by midnight tonight in their filing. They called this a case one of one. This is a one-off, essentially, where the government admitted a mistake in deporting Abrego Garcia to his home country of El Salvador when there was an order from an immigration judge saying specifically that he cannot be deported to El Salvador. So right now, that means the full court will consider both sides' responses, and now we will see how long it takes the court, now that they have heard from both sides, to make this decision. Typically, in this case, when you hear from both sides, the government, who makes the initial request, they get a little while to issue what's called a surreply. Basically, they get to come back with their arguments one more time before the court decides. And so there's likely some conversations going on right now about how quickly that can happen, and then the court will likely issue their decision. But again, this is just a temporary pause. This is not the justice saying how he thinks about the issue. This just preserves the status quo for now while the justices consider what and how to do it now.
I hear that full clip right here of this dingleberry MSNBC. Yeah, y'all just can't get it right, huh? On here crying, melting down, and I'm here for it, man. I am here for it because the people spoke loud and clear. Yeah, loud and clear. He's doing exactly what he campaigned on. And Democrats ran this sucker into the ground. Full invasion. And something has to be done. And it's being done. So you can cry, sir. Just keep on crying. And then he blames and shames a half of America live on TV. Check this out.
I don't know what it's going to take for the American people, for 78 million Americans, to deal with what motivated them to make the choice to elect this man again, to make the choice that will allow these people to undermine every fundamental assumption we have, that you can just be disappeared, and then they can argue that, a court is getting in the way of their ability to exercise, foreign policy in some ways, right? I don't know what it's going to take for 78 million Americans to deal with what motivated them to make this choice. And the choice that they've made, we have to just be honest, is to literally throw the Republic into the trash bin. And this is just one example. The tariffs is another.
Tariffs? Tariffs? Oh, man, it just never stops, man. It never stops with these people in the fake news. It just never stops, man. And that's why people turn the TV off. That's why you can't be trusted anymore. That's why nobody cares what you have to say. But at least CNN came out and admitted that he's doing exactly what he campaigned on, that he's kicking butt right now. That he didn't just say one thing and did the complete opposite, or did the other. You wonder why his approval rating is skyrocketing, and Democrats are continue to dig the hole even deeper. You wonder why.
Made the choice. Now, what was behind it? We have to grapple with it. because it's the snake, it's the beast coiled up in the heart, the bosom of the country, as Frederick Douglass said. And the fact that they are doubling down on this shows you what kind of human beings they actually are.
Say more.
We chose a felon who is more interested in loyalty.
A felon, yeah, a felon. Yeah, so still can't tell us what the crime is. Still can't tell us. Can somebody please tell me? They say, Rick, sir. Rick, we don't even know. Rick, sir. Rick, we don't even know the crime, sir. When you come after your political opponent, can't do things fair and square. Witch hunts, banana peels all out in the middle of the street, kangaroos jumping all out on the freeway. Yeah. Maybe I would have had a chance if you can just do things fair and square. We can't do things fair and square. Got a lady opening up coconuts. Don't know what the hell she's at or what she's talking about. Don't know who was running the country the last 4 years. Ran the sucker into the ground. Then came out and lied about everything. You know. Maybe you need to worry about your side first. Yeah. Maybe do some self-reflecting on your side, sir. With your little blue glasses, professor. What is a Princeton professor? Professor. It's always these woke professors, I tell you. Some of the worst.
Who's more interested in retribution, who's more interested in grift than in democracy. And we chose a felon because we didn't want to elect a black woman.
Oh man. Oh. Yeah. Hey. That's their talking point always. Misogyny, sexism, racism, yeah. That's their talking point always. We didn't want to choose her because, hey, she was black. Not because we didn't know what the hell she was saying. If she said tomorrow was Thursday and it'll be Friday on next Friday. If we didn't know what she said in the word salad, if she made a salad and gave a salad out and then it'll be 2 coconuts falling out of the coconut tree. We, you know, yeah. People didn't reside with the message. People didn't feel it. Sorry, sir. People didn't like the terrible rallies. They didn't care for what a celebrity, a woke celebrity has to say. That we just, yeah. We don't care about anybody in Hollywood. Sorry, sir. We don't care about the Oprah Winfreys. Sorry, sir. And then come to find out it was a complete bombshell scandal scam with her and Biden. And she knew what was going on. She was the last one in the room. That's what she said. I was the last one in the room. Her and Tampon Tim stolen valor said he went to combat. Said he went over here. Yeah. Come to be a fraud, fake. Yeah, Minnesota ought to be ashamed of itself. Stolen valor Tampon Tim. He can't even tell you what a woman is. Him and his wife up there talking to the people like little kids. We're going to turn the page. Y'all repeat after me. Say no to Mr. Trump and Mr. Vance. We're going to turn the page. They up there on the campaign trail talking to voters like little kids. And she laughing and cackling. Laughing and cackling. And you ask her about, the economy. You ask about the border. You ask about this. They said she was the border czar. Nowhere to be found. Laughing and cackling. So, hey, sir. Was it really because she's a black woman that we chose the so-called convicted felon? Y'all let me know in the comments.
So to read that, to actually explicate that, is to say we would rather destroy the republic than for that to have happened. And until we grapple with it, there's no amount of protesting I could do. There's no amount of resistance that could come into play to actually force 78 million people to grapple with what motivated them to put themselves
Don't waste your time.
in this position.
And I think you're getting at how we're going to have to go through the next 4 years, right? Because I haven't on this show covered the talk of a third term, because I believe it's a shiny object. I believe the things driving Trump's approval rating down are the man-made destruction of the economy, abandoning due process. But you're right in that 78 million people voted for someone who wants to shred the Constitution. Why?
That's the key.
What's the answer?
There is a sense in which the underbelly of the country, what Melville was writing about, right? That there's this sense, this tragic dimension of the American project, where the extension of basic democratic principles,
these professors, man, I tell you, it's just sick. Oh man.
Idea that dignity and standing should be accorded to anyone, no matter their gender, no matter where they're from, no matter their color, that has been challenged because some people believe that by definition they ought to be superior to others, and that the country should be organized in such a way to ensure that fact. And we have been willing to do monstrous things in defense of it. Monstrous things. And people have been using it in some ways, Nicole, for their own self-interested. They might not be monsters in that sense, but they might be unabashedly greedy. They just want to make money with and exploit people's grievances and hatreds in the way. But we've been dealing with this from the very beginning.
Oh, you just can't make that up, man. We're gonna have a good time though, family. We're gonna have a good time, man. All right. Don't keep it real, man. You know, that's what you get with these people, man. These fearmongers, this fake news, these liberals, Democrats. Keep digging a hole deeper. You know, on here crying. All they do is melt down, cry. How could 78 million people vote for the felon and not the black woman? You know. But hey, you know, doing exactly what he campaigned on. Prayers for the Trump administration, man. We are rooting for America. We are rooting for America. Take somebody like this administration, like President Trump, to stand up against the corrupt machine. The machine that a lot of people believe in. Yeah, the corrupt machine that a lot of people believe in, sadly. Yeah. And we here for it to stop it, man. Expose it, drop it, beat it up, throw it in the middle of the street, run it over. Throw it in the ditch, throw it in the well, throw it in the sea, throw it, just throw it. Get rid of it. People got to put their hands behind their back. People need to be held accountable. People got to go. People got to pack their bags. People got to be fired. People got to be made an example out of. Americans are tired of getting ripped off. Hard-working patriots getting ripped off. America ripped off. It's America first now. We the people, man. We are rooting for this administration, man. You know, but we're bringing some of the best updates. We're gonna keep having fun. We're gonna keep spreading love. We're gonna keep being real. You know, I love it, man. We used to be an anti-Trumper. We used to believe in the fake news and what all these people were saying. I used to be one of those that believed in all of it too. I was the one drinking the Kool-Aid too. No more drinking the Kool-Aid. That Kool-Aid expired. Ugh. Spit it out. Yeah. Well, let me know what y'all think of this, man. I love y'all. And I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace and love, family.